a message from GROK. Let's explore the astrological impacts of Mercury retrograde in July 2025 together, shall we? I'm here to guide you through this with questions to help you uncover insights and deepen your understanding. Instead of giving direct answers, I'll ask thought-provoking questions to encourage your curiosity and reflection. Let's begin. To explore how Mercury in retrograde from July 17th to August 11th, 2025 might influence the zodiac signs, let's approach this as a journey of discovery. Mercury retrograde, particularly in Leo this time, is often associated with disruptions in communication, travel, and technology, but it also invites reflection and reassessment. Instead of giving you direct answers, let's dive into some questions to guide your understanding of its potential effects on each zodiac sign. Since this retrograde occurs in Leo, a sign known for creativity, self-expression, and boldness, how might these themes shape the experience for each sign? Let's break it down by sign and reflect together. Aries, this retrograde might stir up your creative projects or romantic endeavors. What happens when you rush into a passion project or a flirty conversation without double-checking your intentions? Could this be a time to revisit an old creative idea or reconnect with someone from your past, perhaps an ex, to clarify unresolved feelings? How might slowing down help you express your authentic self more clearly? Hello, welcome Aries. Some astrological insights to take note and during this reading. Creative recalibration. Revisit joy and passion, especially in love and artistic expression. Try again with more courage, style, and authenticity. Let's start by getting some charms for symbolism. See here, Aries. We've got Tree of Life, looks like a starfish, a hand that's holding a heart that says love, an anchor, a crown, a beautiful butterfly, the letter J with a crown on it, another butterfly, a leaf, a series of leaves. Looks like we have a sleigh with something in it. It kind of looks like a reindeer. We have a feather, a flamingo, a present, and a matching starfish. There we go. All right, let's see what the cards reveal. So for Aries, we have second house of resources, the past, and solar flares. So we have south node, resources, past, and activation. So action with Aries, looking into our second house, the past, and looking into taking action into the second house. So taking action into your resources by looking into the past and activating. With the Witch's Sisters Tarot deck, we have Maid of Skies and 10 of Trees. We've got Earth energy, air energy, obviously fire energy here with Aries. Let's see what the books have to say. I won't read all of the description, I'll just take what I can. So as far as Aries, let's see in general the challenge with Aries. The book says, accidents increase when you are in a hurry, rushing through a project or impatiently distracted. This flammable temperament can spark inspiration or spark a conflagration, proceed with caution. Let's see if something sticks out here. It says clean up your act in the material world, clean closets, pay bills, deal with other practical things that might appear mundane, but can be a sacred act of aligning the soul to the surroundings. Integrity creates a welcoming ground for bounty. Come up with a clear, integrated message to radiate out, then back that up with action. So even if you're not directly working towards your resources, pausing right now in a state of reflection during the retrograde in Mercury, it doesn't mean you can't do other things that will help align you to your passions, to your mission, to your call of action, if you will. You are dealing with something that is in the past as well, which is perfect for the time of reflection that we have. The challenge is popping out. Under stress, you may fall back on familiar defenses and relive what you've always lived. PTSD, flashbacks, and addictive habits or relationships all operate around your South Node. So what is activating at this time? What you build during a solar flare may be hot and fervent, but not necessarily long-lived. To turn an idea or a love affair into something permanent like a business plan or a partnership will take conscious effort. So putting into action things that are directed to your passion or things that you just need to get done around the house, right? Like that will open up space and allow for that expansion once Mercury goes out of retrograde. So then we have Maid of Skies and 10 of Trees. Let's do the 10 of Trees first. It popped up. The divinatory meaning. Being alone does not mean that we don't belong. The land loves us. We have roots that reach deep down into the earth. In our hearts, we know that we are held and cherished. In winter, the sun's fire becomes a fleeting presence in our days, and we must hope we have enough fuel put by to keep us warm at night. That's where the fire energy comes in. With the 10, something is coming to an end. The light is waning as the sun goes down into the west, but there is no need to grieve. The time is right for this ending. All that needed to be done has been done. So it looks like that's going to help with your activation. It's time to let go and move on, knowing that our guardianship has made the world a better place for others and our memory will be cherished. The 10 brings transcendence, and we may not be able to see clearly yet what lies ahead, but we know we have the strength to greet it wholeheartedly. And with the Maid of Skies popping up here, the Maid of Skies knows her own mind. We can see by the tilt of her chin that she is free-spirited and bright in every sense, quick-witted and lively of imagination. She moves with sureness and grace, light and swift as a feather on the breeze. He pulled the feather. This young seer's apprentice is yet untested and still has much to learn, but the talent is there. She spends her days gladly caring for the birds and studying the secret language of their flight and song. She weaves feathers into her hair, practices their calls, and learns the ritual dances. This is someone with the abundant natural gifts and great potential. The only danger is that her strong will might lead her to try to fly too high too soon. So yeah, that really does speak a lot, about that Aries kind of energy. It's kind of coming out in this kind of fashion. And yeah, I mean, there's great potential here, especially in the second house of resources. It's about pausing and reflecting. You know, you have the natural gifts, you have the potential. It's about harnessing that through the past, through working through, those traumas that the grief that you may feel, right? But that is coming to an end, right? And then that's going to lead you to that activation. So we pulled You Are More. You Are More. Bald Eagle. This is the medicine, the reminder, the guidance, if you will. The Eagle Lightbringer. Eagle flies high, able to soar at altitudes of up to 10,000 feet. His relationship is close to the sun, and he brings a message about the light you shine. When Eagle flies into your card reading, he speaks of your noble destiny. You are a light bringer, and you are created to shine in order to not only heal yourself, but also humanity. Ego says that being a light bringer is a lofty and honorable duty, but it does not come without carrying the weight of the world. Often as a light bringer, you have a deep relationship with pain, but this was necessary for you to be able to shine so within the darkness. You have the ability to feel on deep levels and cannot endure the suffering of the world and its creatures. Your cries for justice might often fall on deaf ears, but you are meant to endure the pain and transmute it into light so that you can illuminate the world. Understand that you have a profound gift, and your existence is a part of humanity's evolution to achieve its greatest potential, world peace. Your light heals, brings love, and dissolves suffering. Your light is who you are, and you must embrace your greatness and step into yourself to shine fully. You must do all the self-work to remove the veils of ego from your heart so you can fully be your highest self and allow the light of love to heal humanity. You must honor your body and take care of it. You must do the psychological work to deprogram all your toxic beliefs, and you must independently investigate your spiritual existence and your relationship with the Great Mystery. Please take this message with urgency and honor your gift. To receive ego is a privilege. His medicine asks you to respect your greatness. You are a servant of light.
Taurus, the focus might shift to home and family life. Have you noticed any lingering tensions or unresolved issues with loved ones that keep resurfacing? How could miscommunications at home, like a misinterpreted comment, create unnecessary drama? What might you learn by reflecting on what comfort and security mean to you during this period?
Hello, Taurus. Your astrological insights this Mercury retrograde are home and heart check-in. Family conversations, domestic plans, or emotional security themes may need a second look. Focus on rebuilding what feels like home. Let's pull some charms for symbolism. I see a lotus in a ring, a dolphin, an angel, a starfish. That one came out in the Aries. 2 starfish came out in the Aries. We have a shooting star. We have a skull with a top hat on it. A wreath holding a candle, a horse, an owl, Christmas tree. We have a cross, a couple feathers, a crown, and a shell. And a hamsa hand. There you go. All right, let's see what cards were pulled. So, Taurus. We have something at the root. Messages at the root that offer strength. So root, home, that definitely, so there's messages at your house or in your home. Within your home, right? You're cultivating some strength here. And we have 10 of skies. Something in the mind has been completed. And 8 of waters. So we're working through some grief here. Okay. So the challenge for Taurus. Taurus excess can lead you to mistakes, stubbornness for strength, or look for spiritual and emotional answers in the material world. There will never be enough stuff to fill an emotional void. Sensuality is a Taurus gift, but sex alone cannot fulfill a desire for love. Clarify your hunger. With the root. The Imam Koli. The IC also speaks of deeper roots, the spiritual, religious, or philosophical underpinnings of your early life. Just as a fish doesn't notice the water it swims in, it can be hard to see the spiritual assumptions you swam within as a child. And then maybe that's where the messages are coming in and the grief. But there's strength here. So what are the messages? With Mercury. Mythological Mercury could be a trickster when he worked for himself, but he also played the role of psychopomp, diving into the underworld to escort trapped spirits out of it. If you need to go down into your own personal underworld, it may be time to walk with the therapist, shamanic healer, or other integrative guide into the deep realm. That's where your strength is going to be. You're not alone. The challenge within the strength, however, it may be tempting to take over. Yes, it's time for you to shine, but bring everyone along with you rather than dominate them. Or you may be left high and dry once this game is over. So look at Ten of Skies first. What's at the root? Time will write its story upon us, carving our faces, bodies, and minds as the wind and ice carve the mountains. The witch sister Tens comes to us as crones, shining with wisdom and compassion. Air, of course, is the element of skies, with its themes of thought and communication. And in the face of this mighty raven elder, we see those keen-edged mental powers further illuminated by all the experience gained in her long life. I'm hearing you need to tap into your higher self. In the Ten of Skies, we have known trials and sorrow, but now we ascend to a higher level. What we have been through has transformed us and given us great strength and understanding. Our experiences have opened our eyes and enabled us to see more clearly the grief and struggles of others, to bear witness and to offer a hand where we can. So taking note where other people's grief is, what you see in a non-projection type way, could offer some insight for you. We've got Eight of Waters. The major arcana card governing the Eight of Waters are Strength and Moonchild. And we can clearly see all the feral intensity of the strength blazing in this seal woman's golden eyes. She is untamed, uncaught, but she has seen her sisters taken and trapped, tied to the land by a home that is not their true home, a family they did not choose. She will not allow the same fate to befall her. Our sense of wholeness and our feelings of freedom and independence inevitably get compromised in intimate relationships with others, be it family, romantic partners, or close relationships. It's natural to feel protective of the qualities that make us feel truly ourselves. And in the flood of daily life's demands, it's easy to forget what those even are. The Eight of Waters asks us to reflect on what makes us our true selves. Do we need to uncover parts of us that have become lost? Or alternatively, are we clutching our soft golden seal skin too close, preventing others from getting near to us? So the messages and the guidance from the animal apothecary. We have magnetism through gratitude. We have a breakthrough, as well as master manifester. I'm going to read this one. It's a raven. Raven lived a lonely life in the dark abyss of the universe with only one other creature, Spider. Anytime Spider crawled to Raven, Raven would freeze in terror, and Spider would sadly crawl away, for she did not want to scare Raven. Often you could find Raven gazing into the endless universe and daydreaming about creating the world. Everything in his heart wanted to experience so much more, but he just didn't know how to create it. One day Spider saw Raven projecting his dream into the universe. Spider crawled up to Raven, and as usual, Raven froze in fear. Spider sadly looked up to Raven, suffocating in his fear, and right before Spider was about to dart away, she decided to use her voice. She said, "Dear Raven, I know you do not trust me, but I can help you." Raven seemed to snap out of his hypnotic state of terror for a moment and looked down at Spider. "I can weave your dream into existence," said Spider. It was at this moment that Raven understood. Not only did he have to befriend his fear, who was Spider, but that his fear is what held the gift to allow him to manifest his dream. Once Raven could accept and deeply love all aspects of himself, one being the spider, who represented his fear, he then was able to become the ultimate magician, the master manifester. Raven's medicine says, when you honor all aspects of your being, you become whole. Wholeness equates to self-love, and your wholeness charges your magnetism to attract and create. When you befriend the painful parts of your personality, you will find that they are the ones that hold the secrets that allow you to fully step into your purpose. I think it's interesting that the turkey came through as well. I'm going to read that one too. Sure. All right, the turkey. Turkey's medicine comes to speak to us about abundance and prosperity through the virtue of gratitude. When we are thankful for what we currently have, life draws to us more things to be grateful for. You are on the verge of supermagnetism. Turkey medicine says you draw in dynamic levels of abundance through gratitude. Creating and continuously deepening your practice of gratitude will act like a spark that ignites the charge of your magnetism. What accomplishments have you achieved? What desires have you worked so hard toward that have manifested? Focus on these achievements and truly appreciate them. A wonderful daily practice is creating a gratitude journal. Take a few minutes every day to write down all the things you are grateful for. You really connect to the feelings of gratitude. Try listening to music that moves you deeply while writing in your journal. If you want to take a step further, try gratitude dancing. Put on music that amps you up. Move and dance in gratitude and thank the universe for all you have received and will receive. This is a powerful technique and lots of fun to do with friends too. Your job is to get excited about the generosity of the universe now and start saying thank you. Though through this, you will find a level of fulfillment that will bestow joy in new ways for you. Remember to make sure to include gratitude about the unknown in your practice too. Turkey's medicine comes when something special and profound is being conjured up by the universe for you to receive. Discipline your gratitude practice and get ready for your magnetism to ignite. And we might as well read that one too. The Lizard Brain. This is a good card. The medicine of this card comes through when you are about to level up and have an amazing breakthrough. But you must be made aware that your lizard brain may attempt self-sabotage. The eye opening in this image is likened to a seed ripping open to become self-realized. The reptile head at the bottom of the card represents our unconscious reptilian brain, the limbic system. This part of the brain represents fear, flight, fight, addictions, and other emotional behaviors. It hates change and thinks it can keep you safe by pulling you back from taking important risks that can lead to great success, like fear. The lizard brain will drown you in fear of potential failure and tell you to stay in the job or relationship that make you miserable, because there is a strange safety in the familiarity of what you know. Hey, at least you know it's horrible. So that's safe, right? Wrong. This is just some of the garbage logic of the lizard brain, the master of self-sabotage. This card is about surpassing the prehistoric programming of our beliefs and behaviors to evolve into who we know we can be. The art of your breakthrough is the determined effort to constantly question your perception. Take a moment to analyze the current obstacle or moment of resistance you are dealing with. This obstacle is a golden nugget moment to challenge your perception. Examine the story in your mind's eye. Even being aware that you just got hijacked by lizard brain doesn't necessarily dispel all the worry running through your body. At this moment, you may have to just move forward while still feeling fear and not believing fully in yourself. But the action of going forward is what will lead you to the critical breakthrough.
Gemini, ruled by Mercury, this retrograde could hit close to home, affecting how you communicate. What happens when your words are taken out of context in a group chat or a casual conversation? Are there old ideas or messages you've sent that might need revisiting? How can you practice patience to avoid misunderstandings, especially when Leo's dramatic energy amplifies your interactions?
So Gemini, the astrological insights for this Mercury retrograde: rewire communication, Revisits conversations from earlier summer, especially with siblings, neighbors, or close connections, and speak from the heart. Start by pulling some symbolism through charms. All right. Got a candy cane, a star, a ladybug, another feather. Feathers came out in the first two signs. We've got a fish, another hand, or the same hand that came out in Aries with the holding the heart that says love. We've got a turtle, a seahorse, a cross, another star, some hearts, a key, an elephant, a flower, butterfly, two turtles, another flamingo. All right, let's take a look at the cards. What's the message? We've got cross-pollinate with Gemini, Chiron with heal. Something in the 5th house is causing discomfort. Healing your passion. Something healing. Passion is causing discomfort. Let's see what the Witch's Sisters say. We've got 2 of trees, Moonchild, which is the moon card in the major arcana, and then 3 of skies. That's interesting. So the unknown is showing some balance here. We've got the air, we got 3 of, okay. Let's see here. The challenge with Gemini. The situation may be more complex than you think, so be willing to dig in. Gemini energy can be shallow or oversimplified, as it encourages breadth rather than depth, so you have to add the depth consciously. Maybe you need to go deeper into your healing. The unknown. There must be something in the unknown that's affecting your passion and causing you discomfort. Let's see what the card says. It says that the situation may feel familiar, but if you can't remember a story to go with it, it may be left over from a past life, a chapter of you, or what your soul already knows. If an old pain is triggered, have compassion for yourself. So the 5th house. What's the challenge here? Bring your inner adolescence out to play, but watch that it doesn't get stuck in the self-centered place, swept up by the thrill of creation, and damn the consequences. We do have the child coming in with Moonchild. So something, the desire for a child, a love affair, the first stirrings of a book or sculpture, or the first notes of a song are sparks for this creation. That's for the passion. Okay, let's just get the discomfort info. There's a challenge here. Whether you're an artist among the engineers or a linebacker among the ballerinas, you may struggle to apply your talents in this situation. In these moments, it's easy to slip into self-pity and self-doubt. Okay, that makes sense. Especially because the child's coming through. I'm going to read the Moonchild first. Yes, here we go. Our Moonchild here is not quite the same as the moon card found in the more traditional tarot decks, which is generally a very mixed blessing. The Moonchild shines from within. She is like a pearl, beautifully whole and self-contained. She is at one with Great Mother Moon and comes to us as a little child, beautiful, delicate, full of immeasurable potential. When the Moonchild appears in your reading, you are ready to light up the night. It's time to connect to the source of your own magic. In childhood, we can feel so strong and vulnerable. We believe we can do anything. The Moonchild tells us we still have all the power and potential within us. We may need to shake off the veils that have been dimming our inner light, but soon it will be beaming out, and beautiful things will be drawn to us like her hawk moth companion. The discomfort card was catching my eye as I was reading that. So this must be causing some discomfort. Yes, it's an inner child that needs healing. Or it's your inner child is ready, but there's healing that needs to take place in order for your inner child to surface. Two of Trees. The two does invite questions and encourages us to take a fresh approach to finding answers. The linear, literal methods that serve us well for most day-to-day decision-making do have their limits, particularly when it's subject that rouses strong feelings in us. Our thoughts can end up chasing each other round and round in circles. Paying attention to our instinctive response to the imagery of the tarot can help us break out of that cycle and view the situation from a completely different perspective. There is a choice to be made here about our relationship with ourselves or with another person. The two tells us to feel our way, to trust our senses. There is much warmth and promise here, in the golden glowing sun and the rich, fiery Roman berries shedding light on the situation and bringing our hopes to fruition. So yeah, healing, right? You're breaking out of cycle to heal. And it's good. It's good. It's great. It's a good thing to do. It's causing discomfort. Why is it causing discomfort? Let's see what the Three of Skies says. The magpie's raucous voice has always brought disapproval and condemnation upon them, and still does today. How often do we fear that our own voices will be unwanted and revealed? The Three of Skies tells us that, in truth, it is our duty to sing our song aloud, to dance, flutter our feathers, and speak our mind. I'm like lifting my shoulders as I'm saying that. Flutter the feathers. Spread those wings. This moment right now is the shining treasure that we must swoop down and grab for ourselves before it is lost. Yes. Because it is causing discomfort, right? The sky is brooding and stormy, wild winds tear at the witch woman's hair, and it flies out like a banner on the field of battle. Opening our mouths can be so daunting. Will others see the devil's blood there and cry witch at us? But most often, those buffeting gales of censure exist only in our heads, and if we release our song, others will rejoice and join us. That's why the Moonchild's here, connecting to that. You know, when we were younger, the innocence in the night, well, I guess everyone's story is probably different. But for the most part, that childlike energy that just doesn't care, right? Because they haven't been beaten down by the world. So let's get the medicine. Focus on the big picture, right? The healing. There is an opportunity here with passion. And there is an illusion. And I think that is what's causing the discomfort. The illusion is causing the discomfort. Okay, let's read from the book. So we'll start with the hawk right here. Focus on the big picture. Visionary hawk. The Visionary Hawk card comes with a powerful message about a higher perspective. The image of the hawk coming out of the eyes asks you to transcend your current perception and see the bigger picture, including your inner child, right? The whole picture. Put it all together. Don't just focus on the now. Hawk is aligned with the lighthouse that focuses its light on the bee, which represents your purpose and desire. Hawk says you must expand your perception to encompass a higher viewpoint and focus on the thing that you want. Then victory, represented by the crown, is the only next logical step. Hawk is asking you to take control of your thoughts. Stop playing victim to external circumstances and own the truth that you create your own reality. Declare that your life is going to be the most fulfilling, prosperous, and joyful you have ever experienced. Proclaim that you will overcome all obstacles, your self-doubt, and your insecurities, because you have a gift that you and only you were created to share. Regardless of whether your current situation is less than desirable, this card comes as confirmation that something beautiful is waiting you. But the first step is to make that decision to get out of your ego's limited perception. Testify to the world and yourself that something big is waiting you. Not even your disbelief in yourself will stop you from fulfilling your purpose. You were created for greatness. Hawk's Medicine asks you to immediately snap out of whatever discouraging story may be playing in your mind and immediately focus on the power of all the achievements that await you. There's opportunity here. If you let go of that, take in the bigger picture, that opportunity is going to come knocking. part of attraction. Opportunity, the woodpecker. Woodpecker is the only creature in the world that bangs its head against something 12,000 times a day. When woodpecker knocks on your card, spread, it is a sign of resilience. Like woodpecker, you must be determined and persevere. If there seems to be an obstacle in your way, this is a beautiful confirmation to keep going, because nothing can stop you. No one and nothing can take you down. In this card image, woodpecker is knocking on the red door of opportunity. This mysterious door is easily looked past, even though it is right in front of your face. However, it holds the emblem of the bee and shares this message. There is an approaching opportunity in alignment with stepping into a more expansive version of yourself and fulfilling yet another part of your purpose. Opportunity is approaching. You must be increasingly aware. Now is the time to raise your head like woodpecker and persevere. Nothing can break you. The red door of opportunity has finally bestowed its grace upon you. You are so close. There is this cascade of red doors lined up, waiting for you. Once you enter through one door, you will be led to another. This is your moment. This is what you have been waiting for, but you must first take action and knock. These opportunities may come in the form of small requests you would ordinarily say no to. Any one of those seemingly small or arbitrary opportunities could be a doorway to something monumental to fulfill your purpose. It is your choice whether to knock on this door. Woodpecker's medicine suggests you choose to knock. As do I. All right, what's the illusion? What is this illusion? The phantom shark. In this card, we see a harpoon searching the sea for a dangerous shark that appears only in your mind's eye. Phantom shark has a direct message for you today. Your current fear, worry, or insecurity is all an illusion. You tricked yourself into hunting for a thing that doesn't even exist. By putting so much attention and effort into combating or avoiding what you are afraid of, you are simultaneously engaging and fueling it. Most fears quite literally exist only in our minds. When you feel small, insecure, or controlled by fear, this is not your true self. This is your programmed self, ruled by the limbic system, ego, past traumas, and the false marketing that always shames us into not feeling good enough. This illusion will tell you that you are not worthy, make you feel scared, help or keep you with someone who treats you poorly, and make you feel the need to compete with and be better than others. The challenge lies in how powerfully real this illusion appears. It colors every aspect of your reality, like a cloud of thick gray smoke. While you cannot always avoid being caught in the smoke, you can recognize when you are in it. This is the most important part of seeing clearly. You must first understand that you are in an illusion before you can escape it. The more you become cognitively aware of the smoke, the less power it has over you. Right now, Shark's medicine for you is to understand that whatever currently brings you fear is not actually the truth. You are safe, and everything is going to work itself out. Do not make big decisions when the gray smoke is visiting. Soon, you will see clearly.
Cancer. This period might spotlight your finances and self-worth. Have you ever made a financial decision impulsively only to regret it later? Could this retrograde prompt you to reassess your budget or reflect on how your spending aligns with your values? What might happen if you pause to consider your self-esteem before making purchases or commitments?
Hello, Cancer. The astrological impacts for this Mercury in retrograde are to revisit approach to money, value, and self-worth, align earnings with values, and express talents with greater clarity and confidence. This is significantly affected. Let's pull some charms for symbolism. There's a feather coming out again. Feathers could be very significant for all the signs right now. Maybe the birds are speaking to you, chirping along. Let's see, I have a fish. It looks like a star is coming out of the fish, like it's a shooting star. Makes sense with the water sign here. Tree of life, there's a rose, a key, the series of leaves, an airplane. Someone might be traveling. I have a cross here with Jesus on it. A heart with some paw prints. Some peace. A lock with a keyhole. And then a flamingo again. Okay. So let's take a look at the signs. I just want to make sure my camera is good. It looks a little crooked. Okay. Let's look at the messages. So we have Cancer here. Symbiosis with the trine and sextile in the 7th house of relationship. So yes. We're talking about a relationship that's immersed to the relationship for symbiosis. And then the tarot, the witch's sister, we have, so it looks like there's a new beginning starting here. We have the Fool, a new beginning coming out of a 5 of Stones energy. We've got the Witch of Skies here, the 7 of Waters, and the 8 of Stones. Let's put the Fool energy in the center here. Oh yeah, okay. It might be unknown, the journey that lies ahead. That's okay. As you can see, the Witch of Skies is looking at the symbiosis. Okay. So Cancer, your challenge here is crabs are hard on the outside but soft and squishy on the inside. Remember that the very defenses you think will keep you safe may actually keep important people out. Soften your shell, you have a backbone and are not protected solely by an exoskeleton. With the 7th house coming up, there is relationship. Let's see what pops out. Action. Nurture your relationships rather than test them. Consider each partnership to be a tree you plant. That seed may have been planted in the 5th house with an idea or a twinkle in the eye. Now you have a sapling with potential. Don't construct a tree house on the sapling. It can't yet bear the weight. Instead of crushing it with expectations, nurture and protect it. So nurture and protect a new relationship, I believe, to cause symbiosis. It's working in your favor. The trine and sextile. Yes, lift one another up and grow. The comfort of compatible aspects can help us build up the resources needed to do the hard work and face the tough stuff. We're going to read the Fool card first. Let's see what's here in the center. It's time to become still for a moment and listen to your instincts. It's not always easy to tune into the natural strength and wordless wisdom that lie within us, but they are always there. The Fool also tells us to pay attention to our inner compass, even when we fear the direction it points us may be ridiculous or even mad to others. This witch girl's eyes and heart are wide open, but her neighbors might call her moonstruck and chase her away. She cares little for their cold stares, though. Why miss the heart-racing joy of running with the hares or the chance of glimpse of a fairy rebel for fear of their disapproval? What would you do if you didn't care what anyone thought of you? The constant chatter of our minds and the endless weighing of pros and cons so often cut us off from the vivid world of the senses and the immediacy of the moment. Sometimes we need to get close to the earth, inhale the heady scent of sun-warmed wildflowers, feel the energy course through us, and leap. So, yes. I feel like there's a leap into a relationship. You're immersing into a relationship that's causing symbiosis, which can be scary, right? You know, your faith is being tested, but it's not necessary. You're still protected. 7 of Water. Seven of Waters. Cloaked against the storm of winter and veiled in the fisherman's nets, this untamed witch woman can not only change her form, but also she can move between elements with ease and powerful grace. Similar to the crab, huh? Her bright eyes are keen, and she fears not the unknown depths. Similar to the crab. With her wild sisters, she is free to soar through the storm or plunge headlong beneath the waves, unconstrained by earthly ties. The cowrie shells that adorn her veil symbolize abundance and good fortune. The Seven of Water speaks of challenges overcome and of a true community of like-spirited companions. The majors governing the Seven of Flight and Ancient Starlight. So we have the mighty dynamic energy of the first of these, combined with the wisdom and experience of the second. The Seven of Waters tells us that our witch sisters are with us, and together we are unstoppable. Eight of Stones. Like the Glestig, when we are shown appreciation and feel that we belong, we are able to give our best. The Eight of Stones shows us a stable and nourishing work environment in which we can flourish. The majors governing the Eight of Strength, the Eight are Strength and Moonchild, and in the current situation, the fortitude and stamina of the first can combine with the intuition and vision of the second to great effect. We are being given the chance to be a guardian of something precious. Precious relationship at your grasps, I see. Five of Stones. This is on the other side of the Fool. Matcha sees our sufferings, our ordeals and trials. They do not go unwitnessed. She was born with pain herself and knows it in her bones. She also knows what strength we have and what incredible feats we can perform. The Five of Stones is a challenging card. It speaks of the conflict and pain which are an unavoidable part of every human life. Whether the current crisis is large or small, out in the world or in our own minds and hearts. But Matcha's name means pasture, marking her role as the goddess made manifest in the land itself. All things have their season. The wheel of the year keeps turning. This painful time will pass, and the spilled blood will make richer the soil. So there's some pain. You got to work through some pain. We do have the Witch of Skies here, though. The Witch of Skies hears the voices on the wind. She carries the lineage of the Morrigan, Matcha, and Badb. She knows the power that is in her, so will stop to feel which way the wind is blowing and to listen to the song of the sky and to her own heart before she acts. The Witch of Skies is highly sensitive to the shifting moods of nature. She perceives much that others miss or take for granted. Her refined awareness and superior skills give her natural authority, but she does not feel the need to flaunt her achievements or pull rank, preferring a quiet, self-contained demeanor. Okay, and then the medicine cards for this message. It's in you. No expectations. Put that right here. And sacred boundaries with starting the new path. So no expectations in the grief and in the symbiosis. Allow it to unfold and happen. Immersing with the Seven of Waters and the Eight of Stones here, you have the strength to do so. And yes, sacred boundaries are important in relationships, especially in a new relationship. All right, let's read the messages for this. We'll start right here and go this way. The Not So Cowardly Lion. In the story of the Wizard of Oz, the Cowardly Lion traveled the yellow brick road to the Emerald City to request what his heart most longed for, courage. Little did he know that during his entire frightening journey, he also possessed that which he sought so desperately. For in his heart, there roared a courage that was always his to claim. The Cowardly Lion needed the outer journey to understand that what he most desired was always within. What you seek too, you have in you. Do not give up the journey. Persevere and endure the uncertainty. Remember that having courage does not mean you are fearless. It means you do the thing despite being scared. Cowardly Lion, who now has transformed into Confident Lion, shares his medicine with these questions. What if everything you've been searching for is not only right in front of you, but it is in you? What if everything you've been chasing outside of yourself was a part of you that you couldn't see within? What if you were looking in others to find the you that was screaming to be self-actualized? What if every beautiful quality you deeply want you already possess? What if this sweep you off your feet love is your own love within reflected back to you? What if the gift you have been waiting to actualize was crying out, I'm right here, I'm right here, please, please, please see me? What if this whole entire time it was you that you were searching for? What if you chose you and stopped waiting for others to choose you? What if you stopped running toward external validation to prove your worth and instead went within and became yourself? Obviously, the relationship with yourself could be the new relationship. And having sacred boundaries in your own relationship with yourself is good too. You know, not being mean to yourself, not cutting yourself down. It's important to have a strong relationship within yourself in order to have stronger relationships with others. The tiger palm. Tiger palm is the medicine of sacred boundaries. Tigers are masters of their territory. In the jungle, Tiger says no to living near other tigers because she knows this will diminish the amount of food in her territory. Tiger says yes to living near water, for she knows it is good medicine to relax and play in the flowing waters. Tiger is bold and never thinks twice about whether she should allow something toxic and dramatic in her environment, nor does she ever feel bullied or coerced into doing something she does not want to do. Tiger is so strong because she creates firm boundaries. Tiger's power comes from knowing and honoring herself. We teach people how to treat us. Never expect others to automatically respect and treat you with the justice, love, and consideration you deserve, even when you treat them with kindness. Articulate and create boundaries through courteous speech. For many people, conflict is draining and they would rather avoid it. Still, if you are presented with a situation that continuously minimizes or belittles you, you must stand your ground and ask for respect. The mere fact of sticking up for yourself is so admirable. It energetically creates a level of esteem from others. Even if the other party does not hear you, you will have strengthened your self-worth by holding your boundaries, and this new level of deeper self-worth will reflect in other areas of your life. Boundaries do not apply only to behavior from others, but also the way we treat ourselves. Do you have guidelines for the food you put in your body, the people you create relationships with, the words you say, and the topics you discuss? Tiger's Palm Medicine raises its hand in your spread when you are also being asked to level up the energy you allow into your life. Start scanning what behaviors you hold that do not align with I treat my body, mind, and spirit like a sacred temple. Tiger Palm's medicine directs you to set boundaries with not only others, but yourself. Yep. All right, and then the last card for this message for Cancer, we have No Expectations with the Black Panther. Black Panther represents walking into the dark and exploring the feminine power of allowing development to come from the unknown. Walking into the unknown with no expectations is the key that will open the door to your success. The no expectations medicine of this card strongly advises you not to limit yourself with ideas, but how anything will unfold. Life is planning something more delicious than you can currently understand. Something profound is on the horizon for you. Trust life without needing to be the dictator of how and when your manifestation will blossom into fruition. Intense expectations will only inhibit the ability of what is more extraordinary to develop. Take the risk for what you desire without the desperate need to control how it will unfold. A situation you perceive as a failure today may be what leads you to the unfathomable success in 3 years. This is why an expectation of how you think things should work is futile. Understand that whatever occurs in your life is meant for your growth. Our misguided steps and our mistakes are our greatest teachers. Taking risks allows divine opportunities to present themselves. Take note if you are met with continuous resistance and rigid expectation. This is a universal sign that another direction is more beneficial, so take a step back and allow the path of least resistance to be revealed. This is not to say that you should give up immediately, but it does warn that you may be unaligned with the flow. It may also be a signal that you just need to wait a little bit longer.
Leo, with Mercury retrograding in your sign, this could feel deeply personal. How does it feel when your identity or how others perceive you is questioned? Are there parts of your self-expression, like a bold social media post or a creative project, that might need refining? What could you discover by taking a step back to redefine who you want to be in the spotlight?
Leo, your astrological insights during this Mercury retrograde are a personal impact on self-image, voice, and life path. Slow down and explore different versions of presentation, actions, and choices. Significantly affected. Let's pull some charms for symbolism. All right, we've got owl, ladybug, got a flower, a fish, a star, key with a lock on it, some angel wings, ooh, a spider, a bat, there's an angel with wings, an elephant. This is very heavy in the animals right now. Looks like a flower, a couple flowers, dragonfly, a key, a feather. A feather has come out in every single one of these. Let me show you. There you go. All right. Let's see what the cards show. Leo. We got moon. The sun is in Leo right now, and we got the moon and Saturn coming out. So we got perception and structure. Or maybe a structure to your perception. Shine your perception in your structure. Shine your structure on your perception. There we go. Okay. We got 10 of stones and 6 of skies. So we got some crone energy here, as well as maiden. Okay, so Leo, what is the challenge? Leo's challenge. If you're acting from a place of soul hunger, you can mistakenly think that any attention from others will fill that gaping hole. Not all attention is good attention. Stubbornness, the fear of being wrong, or the desire to be seen as a leader may blind you to what is urgently needed. Melodrama can disconnect you from the real feelings involved. And then Saturn's coming in. It says to look pragmatically to the skeleton and teeth, either of your own body or in the metaphorical structure of your project. Can this endeavor stand up and take a bite out of life? Make sure the foundations are strong, the organizational structures are in place, and build out from there. As you gain strength in mind, muscle, and bone, you can become stiff, so remember to stretch body and soul. We have the moon coming up. Next, investigate the needs and wants of those around you. The emotions underneath the surface actually run the show. Those primary drives are expressed through habits and actions, nuances and expression, rather than through words. Look for the underground ocean. It carries the soul's energy. And speak to the insecurities that slow this process. Act in a way that helps others feel nurtured, warm, and emotionally connected. Make them feel at home. Tend the food, water, and home base. Like the moon, the energy in this situation will wax and wane, so assess the current phase and work with those cycles. Some clarifying cards. 6 of skies. Their golden glow, at first barely perceptible against the dark sky, strengthens as they flutter closer. She holds them in her mind's eye, not needing to raise her trembling lids to see them, and the radiant vibration of their song bathes like starlight. The 6 of Skies card is of union and harmony. It brings peace and understanding. The theme of communication between the living and the spirit realm may indicate inner healing, to do with our relationship with a lost loved one. Or it may be that connection with a living person, which we had thought had damaged beyond repair, can be restored after all. The 6 may even throw light upon the stirrings of a gift in us, illuminating a path of development of our intuitive or psychic powers. It may simply be that our sensitivity and empathy are particularly keen and edged in the present situation, enabling us to help bring understanding between those who feel like they inhabit different worlds. We have 10 of Stones. The last of the grandmothers is perhaps the most formidable and least comfortable of the witch sister tens. The serpent's presence is not to be taken lightly. There's danger in her eyes, as well as wry humor and mesmeric will. We need not fear her, though, as long as we approach her with due respect and with our wits about us. She offers us her help. Like the serpent, she moves through the coiling patterns of death and rebirth with grace. She will teach us the dance and open the pathways for us to tread with the ancestors. With the 10 of Stones, we have achieved much. We have forged something beautiful and meaningful for ourselves, overcoming challenges and difficulties. It is time to acknowledge that and enjoy our success, and also to give thanks for those who have helped us. The grandmother insists that we always remember the help we have received, and in gratitude, extend a helping hand to others as we go forward. Okay. couple cards. Okay, yeah. So you need to surrender to receive, but there's a quantum jump that's going to occur in the process of that. What's the message here? Otter teaches us about the feminine power of reception through surrender in the sea. Otter is often floating on her back, stomach open to the sky, receiving the sun. This is an extremely vulnerable position to be free from worry and not distracted by what may lurk in the dark waters below. It is a liberated state of being. The medicine of this card directly asks you to be patient. Accept uncertainty, fully trusting that you will be taken care of no matter what. Be wary of the mind chatter insisting that you need to know the outcome now. Universal law does not resonate with the ego's desperate need for instant gratification. Something is waiting to be received, but it can only be accepted if you open and allow it. When you are open to receiving, you become a magnet for that which you seek. What is the expectation or problem you are holding on to so tightly? Imagine that issue as a tightly closed fist. When you unclench your fist, your open palm is able to receive what life has in store for you. Let go of the need to control what you cannot control. Surrender the idea of how you need the outcome to look. Otter's power in the sea is her sensual flexibility. She bends and yields with the currents, allowing the moment to unfold without forcing it into the box of limited human perception. Otter swims in the dark, mysterious sea of the unknown. It is here that she receives all her nourishment. Otter's medicine is to surrender and swim with the current of uncertainty and receive something far greater than your immediate and limited desires. You're being asked to shine. And then we have quantum jump, the grasshopper. In physics, it is understood that a quantum particle breaks down to the smallest particles that create a fabric of reality. A quantum particle is every version of itself at once. Yet when the particle is observed, it becomes a version of itself that is reacting to the observer's consciousness. This also applies to humans. In layman's terms, we are every version of ourselves, but our consciousness dictates what version of ourselves we choose to be. Grasshopper's medicine jumps into your cards today and asks you to quantum jump into the highest version of yourself. You do this by assuming the identity and emotion of the self that you want to be. It is in you to be the most fantastic version of you. You just need to jump into it. Stand up straight, fix your posture, wake up early to pray, meditate, and move. Eat foods that are most amazing version of yourself. Eat foods that the most amazing version of yourself would eat. Dress the way the highest version of yourself dresses. Work like the version of you that you respect. Treat people the way the highest version of you treats people. Take action towards goals in the same way that the version of you who is making the big wins would take. Start loving yourself the way the version of you who is in love with themselves would treat themselves. This card says that you can no longer identify with being a victim to circumstance. You're powerful and you create your own reality. Grasshopper's medicine asks you to choose to be the version of yourself that feels the most fulfilling right now. What you've been chasing this entire time is within you. Jump into the you that actualizes their potential. That might be the unknown. What is the you?
Virgo, another Mercury-ruled sign, this retrograde might stir your subconscious or inner world. Have you been avoiding certain thoughts or dreams that keep bubbling up? How might reflecting on your inner motivations help you gain clarity? What could happen if you use this time to journal or meditate on your hidden fears or desires?
Hello, Virgo. The astrological impacts this Mercury retrograde for you are quiet reset behind the scenes, feel more introspective, give space for healing and internal clarity, let your inner voice lead. You are significantly affected by this because Mercury is one of your ruling planets, or is your ruling planet. Grab some charms for symbolism before we get started on the cards. All right. We've got a gingerbread man here, a crown, a key, a peacock, some bells, another tree of life. Oh, just the one tree of life. We've got a star with like a face in it. It kind of looks like we're going to call it a star face. What the star looks like. We've got a frog here, a little girl playing tennis. She looks like a little Hello Kitty character. Just a bead. We have an anchor and then a heart. There you go. All right, Virgo. What are we digesting? Ninth house, exploration. Right here. Juno, partnership. And Jupiter's abundance. Right. We have which sister cards? We have ASTRO here. Some strength, flow, and the sun. The all major arcanas. All right. Let's take a look at the ASTRO deck first. Virgo, what is your challenge? I've been reading challenges for all of these, but my eye wanted to read the gift. So we'll read the gift for this. Maybe you're having one of the least amount of problems in this Mercury retrograde. It's more of a gift for you. This world is gloriously complex. Yeah, we're exploring that. Virgo encourages us to see how the details fit together, how the leaves and twigs make up the forest, light and shadow co-create our image of the whole. Rather than judge the worth of the part, pay attention to the necessary role each piece plays. The chaff protects wheat so it can grow, and therefore has value even if it's not edible. Perceive not just with your mind, but with mind, heart, and soul together. Okay. We got ninth house coming up here. When you finally break through and can see the far horizons, it can be difficult to reconcile the allure of those infinite possibilities with the familiarity of the people close to you. Both are important. Yep. Then we got partnership here with Juno. Be responsible for your own connection to the creative source, spirit, and your emotions. Don't ask another to carry your heart for you, as it makes it hard to accept their unique path. Live out your ambition through your own work rather than through mate, children, employees, or co-workers. If you do so, you can encourage others' growth and exploration along with your own, and so create the foundations of great relationships and a sense of community, which can lead you to abundance. Have abundance, Jupiter. However, Jupiter can bring too much of a good thing or leave people feeling overwhelmed. Watch out for magical thinking and a Pollyanna avoidance of problems. However, give and you shall receive. Jupiter calls you to expand your worldview, so reach out and feel at one with the whole universe. We'll take a look at these. Here. There we go. Elf stroke. In the traditional tower card, we generally see two tiny human figures falling from a tall tower that has been struck by lightning. Everything that seems so stable and secure is blasted away, and they are plummeting through the storm-riven air. Here it is control of her own body that has been blasted away. As the elf stroke falls upon this woman, she is the tower struck by lightning. Most of us want a stable home and a sense of security, but the uncomfortable truth is we never know what life may throw at us. This is never going to be a comfortable card to see in a reading, and it may relate to a crisis. However, there are times when the structures we have built around ourselves become cages, and we need a thunderbolt to break them, open and set us free. Often this card can indicate that we need to be jolted out of rigid patterns of thought and habit, and it can take a bolt from the blue to achieve that. This elf stroke can also bring vision and inspiration to those who it falls on. So yeah, we got to nurture ourselves, right? And now let's explore our strength. This warrior carries the spirit of the wildcat within her. She is of the ancestors, tribal people, not seeking to make war or take land from others, but knowing she must be ready to fight at any moment, if called upon. These two incandescent creatures are as one. Their fiery intensity lights up the twilight that they move through. Sometimes we feel the wildcat within us, hissing, spitting, and snarling, or maybe just disappearing in a flash of burning gold as soon as we've caught sight of her. Mostly, we don't have the perfect balance of this warrior witch, or her hand-won ease in holding the wildness within her and channeling it when the time is right. To grow stronger and be whole, we need to integrate what is feral within ourselves. That's what we need to explore. For many of us, this is a lifetime's work. This card may be urging that we make an effort toward acceptance of our raw, wild feelings, open our hearts, and see how beautiful and powerful they can be. Or it may indicate that this integration is already happening. And then as far as the Juno, the partnership card goes, we've got Flow. In the Witch Sisters Major Arcana, number 14, Flow, follows number 13, Death, and in some ways continues the themes of life cycles and balance in nature. Here, our little witch child is utterly focused on the spiral carving she has found. Her whole body seems to balance on the point of her finger at the center of the spiral, and her gaze rests there in a single-pointed pure awareness. There is such pleasure to be found when wholeheartedly absorbed in here and now. In our fragmented lives, such moments can be all too rare. If Flow is appearing in a reading, she may be pointing out the need to restore balance and become centered. It is so much easier to let go of hard feelings and defensive urges when we are securely grounded. Then we can let them flow through and out of us. Or she may be indicating that we have already reached such a place of balance and is telling us to enjoy it to the full. And then finally, the Sun with the abundance. Whenever it comes, sunshine is a gift. It transforms any scene, and the Sun card in any reading beams its golden light on whatever the subject may be. Lu has several additional titles, including Lu Salmadana. I'm not pronouncing that right, I apologize. The many-skilled. So the Sun card may indicate a ripening of your craft. Projects, long tended, may be about to bear fruit. The harvest and hand-fasting themes around Lu's festival also make this an extremely positive card for relationships. If the current situation is a challenging one, the Sun brings greater ease. Frosty faces thaw, warm up, and smile on one another again. And then finally, the animal medicine for Virgo. Almost there. Almost there. We have Fox here. In the blossoming spring season, little Fox frolicked and skipped in the wild woods. As he played, his attention was constantly drawn to the distant light. The light glimmered deep in the forest, past the rumbling river. Although he couldn't quite make out what the light was, every bone in his body knew that it was meant for him, and his soul would spark with joy when he saw it. It was as if the light were a magnet calling out to him. But whenever little Fox ventured toward the light, he was always abruptly stopped by the roaring river before him. Little Fox would fall into despair, for he could not unite the light that called him. Time went on, and spring became summer. Little Fox would continue to catch glimpses of the light. Still filled with excitement and longing to unite with his beloved light, he would regularly attempt to reach it, only to again be blocked by the roaring river. More time passed, and as autumn approached, Little Fox grew and learned many lessons. Yet he was still faced with the unquenchable thirst for the light. Little Fox became distraught and angry towards life. He often cried out in sharp howls, forsaking life for presenting him the beauty of the light without allowing him to embrace it. He grew mistrustful that life did not have his best interests in mind, and increasingly became hardened and jaded. Autumn transformed into winter. By this point, Little Fox was Big Fox, but his heart was broken, for the only thing he ever longed deeply for was out of his reach. Big Fox gave up. During the early winter months, Big Fox did what he had to do to survive, but he had a hole in his heart. He walked with his head low, for he could not bear to look up and see the outreach of light. One night, as Big Fox lay asleep, snow began to fall. When Big Fox awoke, he was taken aback at this new element he had never experienced. As he started his day, he saw a gaggle of geese standing on the river in the distance. Completely perplexed at how they were now standing on water, he approached the river with caution. He had learned through all his seasons of life that he must be careful and cautious. As he puts his paw on the water, he found it to be hard and sturdy. He gasped and thought, could it be? Could this be the path to my light? Big Fox carefully crossed the hard water with deep awareness. He listened for the cracks and creaks in the hard water and scanned the sky for hawk approaching. As he crossed the river with extreme care, it dawned on him that if he were Little Fox, he would have run boldly across the hard water without a care in the world and could have been hurt or even killed. A shower of epiphanies began to rain on him. He realized that he had to go through all the seasons and learn all the lessons to be prepared to walk toward the light destined for him. As Big Fox finally crossed the great river, he thanked Mother Earth and Father Sky and understood that he had to wait to gain the wisdom that prepared him for crossing the great river. If there is something you yearn for in your heart and have been trying to achieve with little to no success, this is a profound confirmation that it is approaching. Be patient. There is wisdom in the waiting. This is the preparation time. You are gaining what you need to unite fully with what your heart desires. Endure, endure, endure.
Libra, your social life and friendships might take center stage. Have you ever had a misunderstanding with a friend that escalated because of a hasty text? Could this be a chance to reconnect with old friends or revisit group dynamics that felt off? How might Leo's bold energy make you want to stand out in your social circle, and what risks come with that?
Libra, the astrological impacts of this Mercury retrograde, friendships and group dynamics under review, recalibrate social world to reflect future values, and assess who shares your values. We'll pull some charms for symbolism first, and then we'll get into the message. This one keeps coming out. Like, I want to take it out. I know it's important. Nature. So we got some leaves. We got a tree. We got a couple trees. We got an anchor. Oh, here's another tree. Let's see. Roots. Family. A hand holding a heart that says love. That one came out in a few of the other readings. Got a turtle, some butterflies. Or a butterfly. A bunch of keys. Crab. Or like a lobster hand. It looks like a little Cupid. There's a cross here. Candy cane and a cat. Go. All right. The message for Libra. So we got some introspection going on to help with balance. And then we got initiation and 4 of trees. So we got 4 of trees, it looks like, for the balance. And then this one for the introspection. No? Yes. No. Sorry. There we go. All right, Libra. Let's take a look at your challenge. Or your gift, I should say. My eyes were being drawn to the gift. The Navajo refer to the beauty way as a path of life lived in balance, living in the right relations with one another, with the cycles of nature, with the ecosystem all around, and with spirit. Let the beauty way call you. We got 12th house coming up. Both realities are clear and true. You do not exist independently, and you are part of the collective. It's just a perspective shift. I wanted to say perception shift, but perception. Yeah, maybe your perception needs new perspective. It's impractical to get lost in oneness, whether in spiritual bliss or over-identification with your group, and neglect your individual health. But it can be spiritually painful to feel stuck in the isolated single-cell mindset. Spiritual practice can help you find a healthy midway point between a disconnected, lonely state and a state of connection. Connection to one another, to a cause, or to the divine. Grounding helps you return to your personal path. We're going to read the initiation. Maybe grounding into your personal path is part of the initiation. Too far. There we go. This wild-haired young woman has come alone in darkness to this place, seeking an encounter with someone or something she cannot yet comprehend that will change her forever. She has prepared herself as best as she can, painting the stag's marks on her face to honor the spirit she hopes to encounter. All initiations involve an element of ordeal. She has faced the terrors of the dark forest, but this is just the beginning. If we truly want to change at a deep level, there must be time that feels like dying before the new life begins. Perhaps we must dance till we fear our heart will burst, that our body will fly into 1,000 pieces, and who will we be then? In Western society today, we have largely lost our rites of passage. There are practical and legal milestones, but the ceremonies and rituals of coming of age are, for the most part, superficial. Initiation, however, is possible at any age, but we must be prepared to make sacrifices to let go of control. Yes, so the card itself talks about following the path, deep change. This is traditionally the card for the Hanged Man as well. So, Four of Trees. In the gathering dusk, she scatters handfuls of her stored herbs upon the flames, as the smoke wreathes and swirls, she waits to meet the spirits that form. Who will come tonight? Her mother, the great mother Kalilich, or guardian spirits of the land? Perhaps all will visit her in the smoke of visions. Fire is the element of the suit of trees, but in the four we see different elements begin to dance together. The flame consumes the dried plant matter grown in the earth and transforms it into a sinuous smoke, weaving shapes in the air. In certain moments, by arrangement or accident, the right elements come together and magic happens. The Four of Trees may speak of a gathering where the alchemy of human interaction will have sparks of connection fly. Souls reach out and interweave. Or it may be that the connections are made within us as we reignite in parts of ourselves that have grown dark to us and become more whole. So the medicine that you can walk away with is nourishment while waiting, immense growth, and claiming your power. So nourishment while waiting. We have baby hawk here. Hawk is a power bird with big medicine. Hawk is fearless, the visionary, the messenger, and the balanced one. Hawk is your highest self. Baby hawk in this image represents the part of you with an overwhelming desire to step into who you are fully and fulfill your purpose. Mouse represents the nourishment baby hawk will need to develop into her most fulfilled self. Baby hawk teaches us the wisdom of nourishment while waiting. This is a moment for patience. What will you do while you wait for your vision to manifest? The flower blossoms in its own time, but the gardener cultivates the seed's growth. The gardener ensures the seed's fullest development by nourishing it, pulling the weeds that threaten it, and planting the seed where it will receive the most sunlight. While you wait for the next step to be revealed, you must similarly prepare yourself for success. Baby hawk needs to be nourished before she can achieve all her greatness as adult hawk, and this is why you must nourish yourself on every possible level. Ask yourself what skills your future self holds that you currently do not. Then start researching and practicing them. Once you grow and develop these skills, you step into your highest self. Wise old hawk looks back on her past self and shares the medicine to not just wait in patience, but to learn while you wait. Stay persistent on your path toward growth and develop and strengthen yourself, for it is the consistent nourishment to become your greatest self that magnetizes you toward dreams unimaginable to you now. It's all part of the initiation. And then we have Vulture coming in with immense growth. Also the Fibonacci circle here, or the Fibonacci spiral. Vulture comes to speak to us about the wisdom of the sacredness of suffering. In Buddhism, the first noble truth is that all life involves suffering. It is not something to be escaped, but to be accepted. Only when we accept this law of our existence are we able to transmute and grow from suffering. Vulture sustains her life by living off that which is dead. She does not interfere by bringing a quicker death to her prey. Instead, she allows it to endure what it must, and its suffering ends in its natural time. This mirrors back to us the importance of patience. There is a profound lesson in the name of the turkey vulture, Cathartes aura, meaning golden purifier. They indeed purified the landscape by removing decomposing carcasses that could spread disease and harmful bacteria in the same way vulture cleanses the land. Suffering purifies the heart from and removes the veils of ego. Suffering comes in two forms. Both are meant for growth. The first form is inflicted upon us and out of our control. The second form is self-inflicted, created from the attachments and illusions of our ego. Whatever form your own suffering takes, you must first accept it. When we resist the pain, when we resist aspects of ourselves we do not like, when we resist rejection, we perpetuate self-inflicting suffering. It is only when we accept it that pain begins to do what it is meant to do, transform us. This is the genius alchemical property behind acceptance. It transmutes. Vulture's Medicines asks you to understand that pain, suffering, and trauma hold an energetic power. It is your choice whether to allow that power to attack you or to transmute its energy into your greatest asset. If you choose the latter, within you a hidden gift will be revealed far greater than all your pain. And that gift is you claiming your power. So we have tiger here. Anyone face to face with a tiger instantly shifts into a state of respect for her prolific power. Tiger summons you to connect with your greatest power, to overcome yourself, to overcome your doubts, fears, insecurities, and illusions of the ego, and to use boundaries. While many of the animals in the Apothecary deck ask you to be accepting of your emotions, when this card comes up, it means enough is enough. Tiger does not appear now with the feminine energy of allowing. This is the masculine energy of taking action and creating what you want. It is time to care more about the end goal than the heavy emotions you are currently feeling. The action called for here is snap out of the illusion and get your thoughts in gear. When you change your thoughts of the world around you changes. Get in control of your thoughts and transform the story you tell yourself. You are not your feelings, so stop mistaking them for your identity. Shift perspective, conquer your emotions, and carve the life you desire. You can no longer submit to the identities and definitions that you once projected on yourself and others. It is time to move forward and initiate that power. When you stand in your greatness like a tiger, you have nothing to prove. You just are. True power is not dictated or enforced. It is an energy that magnetizes others to want to help you in your cause. Once someone has to prove and display their strength, they've already lost it. Tiger's Medicine says stop playing the victim of circumstance. Your power is even greater than Tiger's, yet you wallow in smallness and self-pity. How strange it is that one with so much power is so blinded by it. You feel imprisoned by your circumstances, yet the only prison is the story you painted over your circumstances. Tiger's Medicine is to wake up, get real, change your story, change your life, claim your power.
Scorpio, your career and public image could be under review. What happens when a work email goes awry or a project gets delayed? Are there professional goals you've been pushing forward without enough reflection? How might this retrograde encourage you to refine your leadership style or reassess your reputation?
Hello, Scorpio. The astrological impacts this Mercury retrograde. Rework how you're seen. Career, leadership, and reputation are up for review. Clarify what success means and lead from there. You are significantly affected. We're going to pull some charms for symbolism first, and then we'll get into the message. We got a grenade and a plane. Maybe an ending of sorts, or travel. Let's focus on travel. An ending and travel. We've got a flower, a cross with a flower in it. Looks like a peace sign. Let's put that by the grenade. Let's offer peace here. We've got a skull with a top hat. We've got a candle out of a wreath, a rocking chair, a butterfly, a heart with a lock, a heart that says made with love, a little Hello Kitty character playing tennis, a four-leaf clover. I visualize this. I know it's like a wheel for like a ship or something like that, but I always think direction, like something about direction here. An owl, butterfly, there we go. All right, Scorpio. What do we got? There's a vision with Neptune here. We're investigating a vision. Nine of Trees, Justice, that's under investigation. We got Ancient Starlight under Vision, as well as Flight. Perfect. Sounds good. Let's get into it. All right, Scorpio. I'm just reading what pops out. The challenge: question everything, including your own concerns. Jealousy and possessiveness drain your energy and waste time. Before triggering your defenses, the Scorpio sting, ask if that response will get you what you actually need. And then we have the vision. The challenge here: Neptune overwhelm can turn acceptance into passivity, imagination into illusion, sensitivity and hunger for spirit into addiction. Watch for the water damage. Okay. Let's get into the Witch Sister deck. Got Knight of Trees. The need fire is ablaze, and the dancers whirl in a circle, gilded by the red gold glow against the darkness, against the blackness of this winter's night. We stand on the threshold, and the door of the year swing open. This night of all nights, our dead may come to us if we call them in. The witch woman has danced till she remembers nothing outside of the dance. Now she drops to the ground, broken open by the intensity of heat and whirling motion, and the spirits draw close. The 9, though not without challenges, speaks of fulfillment, a culmination of our efforts. Samhain is the old Celtic New Year, and at this time we have reached the end of a cycle. We have gone further than we have ever thought possible. At times we have thought that fear would freeze us solid, but we kept going. The 9 of Trees also connects us to those we have lost and reminds us that they are still with us, just at the edge of the firelight. Speaks of guides that seek to talk to the dead. Okay, there's some justice happening here. Because of that. Too far. Here we go. When we are seeking justice, it's hard to take a bird's eye view. We become very fixed in our outlook, our version of events, but there is never just one version of the story. The Great Mother spreads open her hands. She welcomes us and will clasp us to her heart if we have courage to go with her. The gleaming wings she wears reminds us of her crows flying high over the battle of life. They see all, and we cannot hide from them. What this card will mean to us depends on the situation. If we have truly been wronged and suffered harm, she brings strong affirmation of an outcome we are seeking. Sometimes it is that clear. Often, however, even when we feel we are the injured party, it is worth re-examining our own actions and motives and trying to see things from the other's point of view. Yeah, and then on top it says she flies above with her crows and swoops down to touch those she has chosen. So that's That's what's being investigated here. You're chosen. You were chosen for something. There's a vision. Let's get into the vision. Let's get into the clarifying for the vision. We have ancient starlight. Yes. The twinkle in her blue eyes can light up the night for us, like a heaven full of stars. She has weathered many a winter far beyond counting, yet she is strong still. Her antlered staff will see her safe across the mountain's jagged peaks. She knows the way, and her feet won't falter. She helped build them, after all. Ancient starlight, like the stars themselves, is always welcome. She lets us know we are watched and over and protected. Your vision is protected. If we are feeling lost, she will lead us back to our true path. Your true path is your vision. So that's why it's protected, because it's your true path. It's your path, right? It's protected for you. We can always find her. We all only have to look up. Now it is time to let ourselves bathe in the balm of her care. We are restored, and we too will shine. You might need to spend some time outside at night. Sit with the fireflies and watch the stars. You might be surprised what you see. And then finally we have flight. What better expression of the feelings of a newfound freedom and independence than flight? We all dream of flying, and in those dreams, the discovery of this incredible ability that we have possessed all along, without knowing it, brings such joy. Often we wake up laughing with the sheer delight of it. This wild witch soaring high with her coven of winged sisters reminds us that we can take to the skies if we choose to. We can feel the wind whipping back our hair, stretch out our limbs, and test the limits of our strength. Flight tells us that we have the power, skill, and stamina that we need for the journey that we want to take. This is the first charm pull that did not include a feather, interesting enough, but so far, in order. The first 7 of them all have the feather in it. So I find it interesting that this has come out for this card, because it's still kind of linked to it. So anyways, let's look at the medicine. Ooh, yeah, freedom. Here we go. We're going to put that one right here. Yes. Okay. All right. Let's get into the messages. Okay. Face your fear with Crow. In the forest, Crow will often warn other animals of oncoming hunters. Crow comes when a fear or uncomfortable situation must be faced and transformed. It is through facing the fear that the animals in the forest are able to escape and survive. Crow isn't just calling at you to face your fears. He's asking you to do something with the energy that comes from those fears. Crow is the master alchemist. Alchemy was the practice of transmutation, turning base metals such as lead into a more valuable metal like gold. Many alchemists were interested in this science on a psychological level. We can apply the principle of alchemy to our psychological development. Think about the power your pain holds. What if you could take that energy of all your trauma, fear, worry, and doubts and turn it into your greatest asset? Crow says that you can turn the energy of pain into your shining light. The key is the consistent effort to manipulate your emotions to your liking. For example, let's say you are dealing with a trigger that is bringing up fear. First, accept what you feel, and then choose to transmute the energy. If you are fearful of something and avoiding it, face it and deal with it. If you are lost in a trauma bubble, choose to shift your physiology. Why can't I say that? Shift your physiology by movement and exercise. If you are procrastinating to clean, clean. If you are avoiding telling someone your true feelings, tell them. If you feel unhealthy and unattractive, change how you eat and adorn your body with clothes that honor your appearance. If you're overwhelmed with feeling like a victim, create an art project that demonstrates your power. The idea isn't to escape what you are dealing with, but instead face it. And then change how you are dealing with it. This is where the shift begins. Crow's medicine to transmute energy is also your birthright. Take action and transmute your energy. And we have small steps, big accomplishments. It might, do it once a day, once a week. Start once a week if you have to. Once a month, wherever you are. Once a year, if that's where you are. One step. Okay? Turtle. Sea turtles migrate thousands of miles each year while swimming at the slow methodical pace. The key medicine is that what you wish to manifest will take dedicated, consistent, and patient effort. Land turtle reinforces this message about the slow process toward your desire, further speaking to us about how grounded this point of view is. Nothing represents being grounded quite like the land turtle, built sturdy and close to Mother Earth. Small, consistent efforts will lead to long-lasting success. Be patient. Do not rush your immediate rewards. Understand that immediate gratification cannot sustain what is needed for long-term success. Shortcuts yield short-term success, and instant gratification is for the weak mind. Sea turtle is not instantly born in the sea swimming toward his goal. He first must build his muscles by slowly breaking out of his shell and journeying inward, it says toward, but inward, his desire to be on the great sea. Allow things to develop at their own pace and plan for lengthy dedication towards your goal. So you might have to, this might be a challenge within the mind. Yeah, especially if it's a vision. So this is a very promising card as it speaks to happy results. You are building something great and its full fruition needs time. Turtle's medicine shares that slow and steady efforts are of the most importance to you. Something powerful is in development. What is built slowly stands longer. Just keep that in mind. And then we have Tain and Attain. This one speaks of freedom. Freedom from your mind, too. Horse. When a horse is tamed for riding, she endures countless weeks of intense training. If the trainer is patient, perseverant, and trustworthy, the horse eventually submits. The horse is controlled through the horse bit that rests in her mouth. When the rider pulls the connected reins, the horse will follow. The horse bit, in this image, represents directed power. Wild horse is freedom, stamina, unbridled passions, and primal urges. She symbolizes the untamed and powerful impulses within us all. These impulses look like our intense outbursts, obsessive thinking, binging, recklessness, avoidance, and all wild expressions. All of these impulses hold immense power, but often this energy is directed very poorly. The human that tames and rides a horse represents our highest self directing our personal power. Your willpower will be tested, so you must strengthen it. Sacrifice is required. Horse's medicine asks you to start with small things to build your willpower muscle. Stop yourself from saying a hurtful thing about someone. Resist eating the entire bag of chips. Watch something uplifting instead of watching garbage TV. You may feel resentful at the restrictions at first, but it will lead to an expansion of extraordinary capabilities. With dedication, the ego will soften and align with your willpower. Once you have given adequate time to building your willpower, it will become a superior force. Maybe some of you are rebuilding your willpower. Maybe you know it's in you, like you know it's there, and you're just like, oh man, I messed up, and you just have to rebuild it. Horse's medicine requests you tame inner appetites to become the person you were meant to be. This is horsepower.
Sagittarius, this period might affect your beliefs, travel plans, or higher learning. Have you ever booked a trip or committed to a course of study only to realize you overlooked key details? What could you learn by revisiting your worldwide or exploring a destination from your past? How might Leo's flair for drama influence your big picture thinking?
Sagittarius. The astrological impacts this Mercury retrograde. Big picture plans may stall. Travel, education, or belief systems may shift. Be open to learning something new about yourself through detours. We'll pull some charms for symbolism before we dig into the messages from the cards. I've seen a butterfly. This little Hello Kitty character keeps popping through. She's playing tennis. So maybe it reminds me of child energy, tennis games, racket type thing. We've got a frog, a rocking horse too, so some childlike energy. A butterfly, some peace, a puppy, a diamond, puppy paw print, another little kid-like character. We've got an airplane, there might be some travel, tree of life, a sailboat, maybe travel overseas, a couple butterflies, that represents transformation for me. I see a cross with a flower on it, also a flower, what's that? Oh, an owl, and a starfish, and a 4-leaf clover, and a gingerbread man. Someone might want some desserts. There we go. All right, Sagittarius, what do we got? 8th house of mystery and Vesta with Hearth coming in. We've got the Hermit. So Sagittarius asks you to expand the mystery within the Hearth. All right, so we've got Hermit, 7 of Skies, and Queen of Skies. All right. Let's take a look at the challenges that Sagittarius offers. Just because you see it doesn't mean you have to say it. Timing and pacing are everything. Be honest, not mean. Ask if what you are about to say is wise, kind, and necessary, as well as true. Watch out for the geographic here, the belief that travel will solve problems, because wherever you go, there you are. So we do have travel coming in. 46, the mystery. The 8th house calls for one last freedom, to acknowledge that death exists and be fully alive in purpose. Or fully alive in response. I said purpose, though, so fully alive in your purpose. The challenge, it can be tempting to manipulate by withholding love, power, or money, and hard to step away when someone else is jerking those chains. However, the gift, face your worst fears and step through, feel the liberation. The trap of manipulation falls away when you don't bite the hook. Perfect. So we got 32. Vesta, the Hearth. Maybe time to take a retreat. A chance to clear yourself, clear your energy fields, cleanse your environment, reclaim your temple. If a relationship is truly of value and important to your soul, the person or team you're involved with will honor your process. So if there is traveling taking place, in the sense of finding your purpose, travel, yes. But in the sense of avoid yourself or avoid your problems and stuff like that, maybe not. Not so much. Okay. So the Hermit coming underneath Sagittarius. Okay. In this modern world, we can find ourselves constantly bombarded with information. Our senses are overstimulated and we can become desensitized. It's easy to forget the value of silence, of time, and space to reflect, to just be present in the moment. But we all need this at times, simply to remain healthy and whole. If we are seeking to hone our skills, pursue a course of study, or practice spiritual development, that inner space is all the more vital. Gormshuol can save the world, or can save the whole island from devastation and accomplish what all the other witches put together could not do, because her life is stripped to the bone, so she can focus her power like a lightning bolt. We don't all need to be so extreme, but she is telling us that a little time, space, and solitude will be of great benefit. Traveling by yourself. Yeah, it makes sense. So we got 7 of Skies coming through here. Flight is the major arcana card governing the 7s, and nowhere is that more clearly manifested than in the 7 of Skies. All the elements are in place. She has gathered her henbane and carefully brewed her flying potion. The sacred crows to gather, and the purple clouds are alight with crackling electricity. Fingers unfold like feathered pinions, questing upward into the lightning ribbon's heights. The 7 of Skies represents a breakthrough. We soar as if riding the lightning to an elevation previously unimaginable. Such moments can occur purely by chance, when the right combination of circumstances happens naturally, but we can also take an active part to propel ourselves skyward. There are many ways, less dangerous than henbane, to induce altered states of mind. Meditation, visualization, dance, chanting, silence, time spent alone with nature are just some possible approaches. The moment of revelation may come upon us suddenly, or it might be part of a process. But this card tells us it has either happened or it is on its way. It's part of the mystery. Then we got the Queen of Skies coming underneath the Vesta, underneath her. Many battles she has seen, many kings have come and gone. She has inspired and aided valiant warriors, men and women alike. They fought with such ferocity, ablaze with courage. They gave their lives in defense of the sacred groves to free the land from invaders. The Queen of Skies has seen it all. Fierce intelligence shines from her eyes, and though at times weariness may show, there is humor in them still. She will always rise to the challenge with expertise and resourcefulness, quick to perceive exactly what is needed in any situation. She will draw on the wealth of experience to find solutions to every problem. The Queen of Skies also has the vision and imagination to astonish us, though we may need to be extremely firm with our boundaries or find ourselves swept up in the storm of her momentum. So she's going to take hold. She's going to make things happen. That's what it sounds like. All right. And then we have some medicine. Oh, there's a transformation. Yes. Okay. So nourish your shadow. Right? The Hermit. Get out of your head. Get out of the seventh space. And accept the transformation that the Queen of Skies is offering. The Jaguar. Nourish the shadow. Jaguar represents the shadow, the subconscious aspects of ourselves we push away. Carl Jung says these aspects usually stem from situations we encountered as children that lead us to feel shame, unworthiness, and abandonment. We then live out these programmed beliefs as adults. Jaguar comes to speak to us about nourishing our shadow. In this image, we see her drinking from the well of wholeness. The well in this image, inspired by Jungian analyst Marion Woodman, is our place of nourishment and absolute wholeness. Water is where all life comes from. Without it, we have no vitality. Many of us ignore and starve our shadow aspects because they cause us so much pain. We push them away and deeply criticize them. We chain our Jaguar shadow and confine her to the furthest part of the backyard of our minds. She howls and cries for nourishment, yet we still ignore her. In her banishment, because of the lack of love, her power grows as the master of self-sabotage. Ironically, if you would begin a relationship with her, you'd find that she is your greatest asset and leads to fulfilling your life's purpose. Funny that we instinctively banish her. Jaguar's medicine asks you to create a self-talk relationship with yourself and to ride the wave of hurt within. Every time a painful feeling arises, you now must tell yourself, I'm right here to feel this with you. I accept this uncomfortable feeling and I will ride it out with you. I am here to feel this with you. If you do this, the emotion will always detox out and dissipate, leading to a much quicker healing. But you must be strong and endure the pain. Commit to riding the waves of emotion together within yourself. This is the nourishment your Jaguar shadow requests. If you witness her, she will start showing you a new and indestructible power within. Your shadow is where your diamond lives. So you got to get out of your head. Get into that shadow. Accept it. Chicken head. When you cut off the chicken's head, a burst of electricity runs through its body's nervous system, causing the chicken to run in circles and flap its wings. This is symbolic of the intrusive and obsessive thoughts we think and allow to run circles around us, even though they rarely hold any real basis in truth. Chicken head's medicine appears when it's time to put an end to the chicken in your head dictating your life. Witness the thought and understand you have power over it. Your power is to know it's just a thought, and if it minimizes you, it's not true, no matter how real it may feel. If it makes you feel less than and powerless, then there is no way it's true, because you are quite literally a scientific miracle connected to the infinite, ever-expanding universe. Chicken Head's medicine asks you to take a big sigh of relief, because whatever is currently keeping you in your head will work itself out. You are safe, and you will find the solution, and the issues will resolve itself. Whatever you are currently dealing with is for your greater good, no matter how much the chicken tells you it is not. In fact, Chicken Head's medicine brings an exciting confirmation. If you are dealing with the current situation that feels disappointing and has you obsessively thinking about it, you are being asked to understand that this difficulty had to happen to lead you to what you truly want. For whatever reason, there is a lesson being learned, and in learning this lesson, you will lead yourself to what your heart desires. Chicken Head's medicine demands you get out of your head now, because everything is going to work out. That's why we got the Queen of Skies coming in, because transformation is on its edge. This is Phoenix. Phoenix is an ancient bird that will burn himself every few hundred years to be born anew. He diligently builds his nest with cinnamon and frankincense. Then, with one clap of his wings, he ignites his nest into a blazing fire. He endures a night filled with roaring flames and insurmountable pain. When the sun begins to rise, he too emerges from the ashes more brilliant and mesmerizing than the human mind can fathom. Phoenix comes with informative medicine. He says you also are on the verge of a total transformation. Although you may still be living a current reality that your past self manifested, the medicine of this card foretells a profound change is approaching. You are in the space in between jumping timelines. This timeline is your transition from an old version of yourself into the new and evolved version of yourself. Do not get caught in the trap of believing your current reality defines what lies ahead. It is very possible you are projecting old, limiting beliefs onto the situation. Trust that all your effort over the last months and years are in the alchemical process of manifesting. You are now in the moment before you shift into your fullest self. You must believe the highest version of you, of yourself, is waiting and ready to be self-actualized.
Capricorn, your focus might turn to shared resources or deep emotional connections. Have you ever rushed into a financial agreement or an intimate conversation without fully understanding the stakes? Could this retrograde prompt you to revisit debts, investments, or emotional bonds? What might happen if you take time to reflect on trust and vulnerability?
Hello, Capricorn. The astrological impacts this Mercury retrograde. Rethink sharing resources, power, or vulnerability. Negotiate with clarity and integrity. Let deeper trust guide forward steps. We'll pull some charms for symbolism first before we get into the message. Okay, got a giant butterfly out here. See another bird, like a it's flying upwards into the sky. Something must be happening. We got an owl here, a tree or a bush. I'm seeing a spider web, a couple hearts, heart with paw print. There's a smile face. There's another heart. Ooh, we got a ballerina, so dance of some sort, movement. A key, a star, some other stuff. The smile face is sticking up to me. Let's put that right here. Smile. All right, Capricorn, what are we achieving? Clarity and a transit. We're transiting into solar calm to clarify. Clarify achievement. Okay. And then we have Nikaneben, which is the High Priestess. That must be what we're clarifying here. Okay, let's see what the challenge is for Capricorn. Keep an eye on the power dynamics. Without integrity, Capricorn ambition can enable gross manipulation. Control a tendency to become controlling or manipulative when feeling anxious. Do not fall in love with others' competence. Let it inspire your own. The gift, wisdom grown over time and through mature experience, is the gift of Capricorn, as is connection to the spiritual traditions and disciplines that offer a sound foundation for our evolution. With solar calm coming out, we have a challenge. It is not the time to push ahead or spark change. If you try to motivate practical change in your life or try a totally new approach, it can feel like trying to light a match in the fog. Be patient and the fog will clear in time. And then the gift, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but it says meditation helps. And then the transit. People that walk into your life now may be karmically important. Either the relationship will last a long time or it may be short, pithy, and teach you a valuable lesson. It can be helpful at this point to look at the transits in your natal chart. Challenge, wild cards are in play. You are not in control of who or what now brushes your life, and that can be scary. The gift, even though life is an ever-moving circus and you do not control the people and events transiting into your life, know that you are in complete control over your response to the transit. Choose wisely. And then we'll read from the Witch's Sister. So what is the High Priestess talking about? Okay, yes. Our greatest fears are often of the unknown. We create monsters out of the shadows. We all have dark and wild aspects of ourselves that we may be afraid of, but if we try to lock them up or shut them out, we damage ourselves, deny ourselves the fullest experience of life, and cut off sources of power and intuition. Nick Nevin's strong association with Hecate connects her to the night and the realm of the dead. She enables us to cross borders and open doors that would otherwise be closed to us. In a reading, Nick Niven shows us that we have the courage we need to look within our own hearts and that we will find answers there. Okay, this one's a nice short and sweet one. We have the medicine, yeah, okay. Yeah, so time to shake, release, move on, heal. It's in you. This is a page I opened up to. All right, the antelope. Antelope stands on the savannah, enjoying a cool breeze. In the blink of an eye, Cheetah pounces and mounts Antelope's back, making him freeze with fear and become immobilized. Any spectator would assume Antelope is dead. Cheetah drags Antelope's limp body back to the shaded area to begin her feast, but is interrupted by a gang of hyenas. Cheetah, now focused on protecting her food, abandons Antelope to address the approaching hyenas. It is in this moment that Antelope's body will conduct the genius of its intelligence. Still unconscious, Antelope's stomach begins to rise and fall with deep breaths. His body shaking and quivering, Antelope opens his eyes, clumsily rises to his hooves, and bursts into the most powerful run of his life. Antelope's body saves his life. This card is inspired by Dr. Peter Levine's studies on animals in the wild and the ability of movement to release and dispel trauma and anxiety from the body. Often, after the immobility phase of terror, the animal shakes and quivers before returning to full consciousness and running away. The shaking and running are a physiological response to discharge the trauma energy from the nervous system. The genius of the body's movement is that the animal then does not have to suffer the debilitating effects of post-traumatic stress disorder. The only creatures that do not instinctually exhibit this behavior of shaking to release trauma are humans and animals in captivity. Antelope's medicine is literally telling you to move. One powerful technique is to set an intention before and during your exercise routine. For example, before you go for a jog, you would say, "This movement is for me to let go of this resistance inside and overcome my current obstacle." During your run, you would repeat this over and over again. If you are about to do a yoga session, you might continuously repeat, "I am dedicating this yoga practice to releasing my traumas, stepping into my power, and falling deeply in love with myself and life." Connecting intention with movement yields powerful results.
Aquarius, relationships, both romantic and platonic, might feel the retrograde's heat. How do you react when a partner or friend misinterprets your words? Are there old connections resurfacing that challenge your authenticity? What could you gain by slowing down to clarify your needs in relationships?
Hello, Aquarius. The astrological impacts this Mercury retrograde. Relationships focus. Old dynamics may resurface for clarity or closure. Let go of performative connections. Close reflective connections. You are significantly affected by this. We'll pull some charms for symbolism before we get into the messages of the cards. We got a heart with a lock, a little baby foot, a heart with some paw prints, a flamingo. A lot of these are coming out on the other readings as well. There might be some information there for you too. What is this? Looks like a little like lion. Aww, for Leo. We've got an anchor. We've got like a fishbone. Some love. Moon. Starfish. A crown. A couple crowns. Some victories here. Okay. All right, Aquarius. What do we got? Ooh, a lot of medicine, animal medicine at the end of the reading. So we're dealing with Aquarius in the 10th house. So collaborating with authority. This one. We have death and 6 of trees. Okay. Death to an authority. Like a rebirth of authority. Probably with yourself or with others. And then we got 6 of trees. Okay. Okay. Aquarius, what is the challenge? What are we facing here? Oh, we got gift instead of challenge. The authentic Aquarius gift encourages you to let go of previous constructs and listen to the source within. Honor the reality that you are a unique individual, but you also have a responsibility to contribute to the health of your community. Okay. So that's kind of in the authority kind of fashion. It's necessary, is what I'm getting. A bully is a parody of true leadership. Be careful not to mistake power over other people as equal to empowerment within. However, wherever you are in your evolution, it's time to take the next step up the mountain of leadership, empowerment, and accomplishment. Okay? You gotta travel up those mountains. There's lots of them. Lots of exploration to have happen. We got 6 of trees. In the 6th, the hare, symbolic animal of the suit of trees, appears as a blood-red tattoo over the heart of this dark-haired witch woman. It is the time of harvest. We reap the grain and make offerings and sacrifices to ensure the life of the fields. Lugnacid is coming, festival of the sun god Lu, and there will be feasting, revelry, fasting. The 6th is infused with the heat of the summer sun. Our blood runs hot, and we feel a lust for life. It tells us that the time has come to gather our harvest and enjoy the fruits of our labors. Union is the theme of the 6th, and the sun fires our passions. We are surrounded by abundance, not only the nourishing crops, but the dazzling beauty of the wildflowers. The 6th tells us to acknowledge and honor the sacrifices that we have made, to celebrate what we have achieved, and to take time to play and pleasure. Take time for play and pleasure. What's the death talking about then? Maybe death to what isn't occurring, like the death to the fact that it isn't occurring. Okay. This card may well address our fears and feelings around mortality, possibly our own, or perhaps to do with a particular loved one. That does not mean it is a portent of doom. Death is a constant part of life, and it's not unusual for it to be on our minds in one form or another. Equally, the cycle of life and death spoken of may be a smaller one. A relationship, a job, a project, or a role may be coming to an end. Most endings have their share of pain and mourning, but they are also essential to make way for new life. There is release here. We may be set free from a situation that has become intolerable, or simply one whose season has come to an end. We may need to take action to help bring about renewal, just as Callie Leach drinks from the well of youth at winter's end to transform herself into the summer maiden. Okay. All right, what's the medicine? Oh, wow, okay. Yeah. So you're evolving into your complexity. It's better than you can imagine. And there's a victory. All right, let's take a look at these. All right, octopus. Octopus is a shapeshifter. Oh, yeah. Octopus is a shapeshifter, able to change the color and the texture of her skin to camouflage her appearance. She is an excellent escape artist and exceptionally intelligent. Octopus evolved into her greatness, her profound complexity, through all the difficulties she endured. Her need to survive and endure every situation that caused her fear and suffering is literally what evolved her into the magnificent creature she currently is. Octopus's medicine teaches us about the difficult journey toward the evolution, excuse me, towards the evolution of our higher self, who is our true self. This card represents the moment of sprouting, the seed ripping open to blossom into what it is always destined to become. This may not be an easy or comfortable moment. The fortitude of Octopus is needed here. As scary situations, self-doubt, and challenges approach, stand strong in the inner knowing that difficult moments are the catalyst for evolution. See the test, and even if you are shaking, yell to the world, I will keep going. See the limiting beliefs on your knees, crying and screaming, I will keep going. See the loss of something special with a shattered heart and profess, I will keep going. All ventures will be faced with limitations, difficulties, and tests. Instead of resisting the inevitable hardships, accept them for what they are, catalysts for growth into a much more complex and profound version of yourself. When a mother resists the pain of childbirth, the labor takes much longer. When the mother surrenders and allows the pain to move through her, the birth progresses much faster. Once you accept the universal law that all beings suffer for growth, you will pass through suffering more quickly. Octopus's medicine asks you to have a steadfast endurance in moments of difficulties and to understand that you are rapidly evolving and this is just a test in the school of life. It's going to be better than you can imagine. Dragonfly. Before Dragonfly becomes her most authentic self, she spends about 4 years underwater as a creepy little nymph creature. The dragonfly nymph has no comprehension of her greatness. How could a creature that lives underwater even remotely fathom that there existed an atmosphere she has no perception of? What she would not only live in, but fly in as well. Dragonfly brings a sacred message about your belief in your future self. She says your perception of reality is quite limited and naive, and your image of your future self is incredibly narrow. But that's okay. Just be aware of this. If you have a dream, Dragonfly is telling you all you have to do is work on it, and life will do the rest for you. Don't try to figure out what it's supposed to look like with your limited perceptions. Don't look at the setbacks as the end of the world. They were meant to happen to propel and stretch you. Just keep working on your dream, and life will create something so much bigger than you have the ability to currently understand. Dragonfly's medicine teaches you to first surrender. Surrender your need for something to be like the limited view in your head. Second, have absolute trust that life will deliver something greater. Third, be patient. Last, get excited that something bigger than your dream is destined for you. That will be the victory. We have Falcon with victory. Falcon heralds victory on the horizon. She dares to accept all challenges. Now you must focus like Falcon on the end goal and discipline yourself to actualize your inner vision. There's no time for mindless activities. Focus like a laser on what needs to be done and do it. Something special is waiting to be developed, but it requires your steadfast commitment. What you most desire may take months or years, but do not rush for completion. Timing will play in your favor if you endure the long journey. Falcon's medicine shares that the key to your victory is discipline. Do not lean on motivation to carry you through, because on your journey, motivation will often vanish for a time, and you must discipline yourself to push through no matter what. What you desire is attainable, and what you long to do in this life is yours, but you must work for it. Falcon's medicine suggests you create a commitment of just 20 minutes a day working toward your goal. Now, more than ever, it is time that you must take steadfast action and have unwavering faith that you will succeed. Do not give up. Keep going. Something beyond your wildest dreams awaits you to capture it. Falcon's medicine is an honor to have chosen in your spread today. It brings the medicine of victory. But remember, it comes to you through your discipline.
Pisces, your daily routines and health might come into focus. Have you ever overlooked a small detail in your schedule that caused chaos later? Could this retrograde be a chance to reorganize your habits or revisit a wellness practice you've neglected? How might Leo's bold energy inspire you to make your routines more creative?
Hello, Pisces. The astrological impacts of this Mercury retrograde are well-being takes center stage, health habits, routines, and workflow under review, clear out draining elements, and rebuild with restorative rhythms. We'll take a look at the charms for symbolism. I gotta clear this. This is from last reading. And then we'll get into the message. This one doesn't want to come up. Okay, there we go. We got a feather. Ooh, we got the infinity sign. It looks like a horse. Yes, a horse, a starfish, a key, a bone, a rose. We've got a crab, paw print, turtle, a ribbon. It's another flower, an owl, and a crown. There we go. All right. So we've got Pisces sensitizing, opposition, and thinking with Pallas Athena. We got a confrontation. Let's see. Okay. Ace of Waters and Witch of Waters. Okay, so it looks like we're almost through a complete cycle here. Let's see what the challenge is with Pisces. Pisces permeability can leave you lost in a swamp, amorphous, wondering whether your sadness is your own or if it has been sponged up from your surroundings. Empathize with others, but don't try to carry everyone else's pain for them and double the burden. The gift is that you can tune into your own healthy ecosystem with Pisces sensitive perception. We are all cells in the body of the one. Healthy individuals contribute to the health of the whole. So by going within, you can help with outwards. And we got some opposition. So it must be in terms of opposition. There must be a confrontation in your life occurring. An opposition dares you to proceed. Decide if this path is worth the struggle. If it is, grow those skills, hold your ground, and fight for what you believe in. You're being asked to prove to yourself and others that you have the skills needed for the next step. The challenge, this situation is an inconvenient growth opportunity, but not a punishment. Decide if it is time to build muscles or to find another path. And the gift, this situation offers you a chance to burn through karma if you can continually respond with compassion and tough love from your highest self. Take the high road. And then we got Pallas Athena coming in with some thinking. Although giving us a challenge, wherever you are on the gender spectrum, do not think you need to deny or disrespect the feminine, the anima, and the heart in yourself and others in order to access brilliant intelligence and competence. The gift, ask for help when you need it, and divine answers will reveal themselves. You can think through this situation with a combination of rigorous logic and a real curiosity about the truth, all connected to an open heart. Then we got Ace of Waters coming in. I opened up to death. Some ending happening here. All right, the surface of this deep and limpid pool reflects the clear blue of the sky. At any moment, this proud puttock may plunge in and dive down to explore the other realm below. But for now, he is content where he is, poised in between. The Ace of the Waters brings us a moment of peace and calm before a transformation. There is a well of healing power here that we can draw from and a source of selfless love that can replenish our hearts. The puttock tells us this is a fertile time and something beautiful is being created. Yeah. And then Witch of Waters. The Witch of Waters, priestess of Kiliodna, is a sea singer shaping the waves and the weather with the melody of her soul. She feels the ebb and flow of the tides in her blood, the fathomless depth of her fascination with the dance of the sea spray and the plaintive song of the gulls wheeling above gives her an ocean of power that she can call on at need. The Witch of Waters is gentle and rather otherworldly otherworldly, oh my goodness, otherworldly, dwelling much in the realm of dreams and imagination. But it would be foolish to mistake her gentleness for weakness, for her talents are prodigious, and she knows her own worth. Yeah, you do. All right, what's the medicine for this pile? Oh, there's an unknown gift. A perception. Your prayer was answered. Let's go in this order. Okay, we got unknown gift, perception, a new perception in opposition, and a prayer answered. We'll start with the unknown gift. Nightingale of Paradise. The Nightingale card comes when you have a profound gift that you are not currently aware of. A great endurance of difficulties leads you to unveiling the diamond within. This card is a gem to receive. Feel honored. There is no other card that foretells such a bounty. This gift is beyond your wildest dream, and you possess it. Your gift is something that every cell in your body yearns to self-actualize. It is one of the most exciting and fulfilling purposes. This card is not about fixing anything or giving you the perfect solution or guidance to a current obstacle. You receive the honor of this card when grace allows you a small knowing that there is an as yet undiscovered talent within. It may take months or years to reveal this gift, but it is there, and it will come to you as clear as the noonday sun, something your truest self has always longed to actualize. Nightingale's medicine has a special message for you. You are being currently asked to endure time and uncertainty, for you are still in the night season, little one. Soon you will understand, and you will be able to share your gift with the world. But you must wait, as there is a reason that your gift's greatness needs time to actualize in the material realm. Beyond this, it is too mysterious to explain. Please be patient. A reality of yourself beyond your current depth of awareness awaits you. Keep the faith. You have no idea how much the wait will be worth it. Get excited for the immensity of this gift within. It's big, very big. Then we got perception with ostrich. Ostrich speaks to us about perception. The image of burying one's head in the ground conjures a feeling of the inability to face a wider perspective. To be fair, the ostrich buries her head in the ground not to hide, but to rotate her eggs. When this card comes to you in a reading, however, it is a symbolism of burying one's head in the ground that we are meditating upon. Studies have been conducted to show that a hill will spatially be perceived as steeper when a person is feeling sad. Our emotion literally shapes our own perception. We do not see life objectively. Instead, the way we see our physical reality is influenced by our eternal emotional experience. When a situation reminds your subconscious of an uncomfortable memory, your subconscious will start to shape what you see through the lens of the past experience. Ostrich asks you to look at your current situation and recognize what perceptions you may be projecting onto it. One way to begin to shift your perception is to own that your understanding is never fully accurate. Instead of drowning in uncomfortable feelings, step back and understand that your emotions do not dictate ultimate truth. Realize the control you have over your thoughts about the situation. This control is strengthened the more you become cognitively aware of your perception by questioning it. Start to notice the autopilot chatter in your mind. Listen to how it belittles you and other people around you. As the Buddhist meditation teacher and psychologist Tara Brach teaches, the primitive brain continuously hijacks our ability to be present in the moment. The thoughts are real, but rarely do they hold any validity. Tell yourself, don't believe the thoughts, over and over again. This not only snaps you out of the autopilot zombie mind, but also starts to reprogram your brain to put you in charge of your own perception. Ostrich's medicine asks you to consistently practice your awareness, and you will transition from being a victim of your thoughts to becoming a master of your own perception. And then we have prayer answered with buffalo. North American Plains Indian tribes revered the great buffalo. Buffalo provided the means for survival, and very little was wasted. Buffalo was life. Sacred dance ceremonies were performed to honor buffalo and ask for a successful hunt. In these ceremonies, dancers would become the buffalo in spirit. The lessons of Buffalo is the importance of asking the Great Mystery for help through syncing your prayers with action to create abundance and success. Act as if your prayers have already been answered. When we act as though our prayers have been answered, we become a magnet for our prayers to manifest themselves in their physical forms. Let's say you are experiencing disunity and having a difficult time with a colleague. Your prayer is to resolve the issue and have unity between the two of you. Your prayer to the Great Mystery would be to ask for unity with your coworker and then to act as if you already had it. This would look like being kind, respectful, and showing love to your coworker immediately, regardless of whether the problem was resolved or not. This action is what would create the unity and eventually dissolve the issue. When Buffalo tramples into your spread, this medicine is a confirmation that your prayers are being heard. But it is of the utmost importance that you stand in unwavering blind faith that they are coming in fruition. Endure the time and uncertainty because your deepest heart's desires will be manifested. Act like the person whose prayer was already been answered.
Some key points to consider. It seems likely that retrograde in Mercury in July 2025 will influence communication, travel, and relationships, but the effects might vary depending on your zodiac sign. Research suggests this period occurring in Leo could bring challenges like delays and misunderstandings, yet also opportunities for reflection and creativity. The evidence leans toward different impacts for each zodiac sign, with some, like Leo and Virgo, potentially feeling it more strongly due to astrological alignments. How can you use this period for growth? Mercury retrograde is often seen as a time for reflection, not just frustration. What past projects or conversations might you revisit to gain new insights? How could that lead to personal growth? Given it's also a time of high intuition, do you think you might notice more coincidences or gut feelings? How could you lean into that for clarity or decision making, especially around July 31st when Mercury is Cazimi? Let's keep exploring these ideas together. What stands out to you most from these questions, and how do you think it connects to your own experience with astrology? I'm here to help you think through it step by step. As you reflect on these questions, consider how Mercury retrograde's call to slow down and Leo's vibrant energy might intersect. Each sign experiences this period differently, but the common thread is an opportunity to pause, reflect, and revise. What patterns do you notice in your life that might need a cosmic edit? How can you use this time to align more authentically with your goals and relationships? If you'd like, we can dive deeper into a specific sign or theme to explore further. What do you think?